Hello, my friends. This is the last video from the Klamath Falls Wildlife Marsh Refuge. Now, in this video, it had been raining for a couple of days, and I was kind of feeling like I really needed a walk. I needed to stretch my legs. Now, Ken didn't want to go because he was working on his ham radio. And it was a cold evening, you know, it wasn't like the other days when we went out hiking around. So it was, you know, still very cold. I bundled up and I just said, okay, well, I'm going to go walking. And because we usually go out around that time frame right before sunset. So I go anyways. And so when I took off, I go on this walk, and we've taken this route and the path and everything, so it's quite familiar with the area. So when I go walking, it starts to get dark, and I overjudged how far I was going to walk and had to come back more towards, you know, getting dark. So what happened is I knew staying in the trees was not good because it was darker in through the trees. So I at least get out where the where I could see the sun setting on the hills on the west, and I had the tree line on the east, and I knew we were up north. Okay, so I get out in that open area, and I can see the lights from the rigs, you know, way up ahead of me. So at all times I was completely safe, other than getting back to the rigs. It was basically dark by the time I got there. Now, some people might get uncomfortable with this video as I'm coming back in the dark, but remember, everybody has different comfort levels, or their perception of fear is different between each other. Like, I would never skydive. That's just not something that I would ever do, jump out of a plane. But people do it. They enjoy that activity. But that's just not for me, okay? But the people that do it, they have no fear. They love it. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Not everybody would hike at night or near sunset or just certain things, okay? But I have bear spray. At all times I felt safe. I wasn't going to live in fear, okay, even if I did come back a little bit more towards night. So keep that in mind as you watch this. But as I came back, the cool thing was, when it got dark, I got to hear the owls, so something good came out of it. I was enjoying that moment, hearing the owls, so I try to capture that for everybody. And also, when we go to leave, we're trying to come up this dirt hill, or sandy hill, sorry. And so I filmed trying to get up this sandy hill. But again, I knew I was safe at all times. Kent is experienced if we ever did get stuck. He's also taught me what to do. We had toe straps. So at all times, everything was good, okay? So this is the last video from our time there, and the scenery. And I have a couple clips of looking out around the area. So I hope you enjoy this last video from Klamath Falls Wildlife Marsh Refuge. It was really a spectacular place to be, okay? All right, so I love you all. I will see you in the next video, and enjoy. Well, I'm going on a walk, and I'm going down the dirt road from where our camp is at. Actually, the camp is in that direction. And Kent's working on his ham radio. He's been working this area an awful lot right now. So I'm out walking by myself and trying to, you know, stretch my legs in between all the rain we've been having. I saw some deer. They just took off out in that direction, so hopefully I'll get to see them again. But there was like about 5 deer. I just saw their tail end as they booked up the hill. But anyways, it's real pretty in here, just taking a little walk. So so I don't go stir crazy. It's been, this is the, sometimes what happens when it rains. It could rain for several days at a time, but I'm glad to have this little bit of a break to stretch the legs. And I don't care if I get little sprinkles on me. I'm from the Northwest, so it's not that big of a deal. It is 45 degrees though, so I'm all bundled up. I'll show you. Alright, so I'm all bundled up and got a flashlight in case it gets dark by the time I get back to my camp. And gloves. So I'm kind of, you know, all bundled up. I do have a cap on too, and then this to protect me from the rain if it does drizzle a little bit. But again, I'm from the Northwest, so a little bit of drizzle, you know, doesn't bother me that much. And yeah, so sometimes when you're camping or traveling, you know, you do sometimes get stuck indoors. It can get drizzly, rainy, windy. Something could come up and cause you to have to be indoors for several days at a time. So you have to realize that not all the time do you get to spend it, you know, sitting outside, and it's not always good weather at all times. So you have to keep that in mind if you do this lifestyle. But anyway, so anytime I see a little break in the weather, definitely going to catch it to try to walk a little bit and stretch the legs. But again, I'm from the Northwest, so if there is a little bit of a drizzle, you know, I'm okay with it, even if it is 45 degrees out here. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, so I'm hoping to catch some more deer before I get back. That would be kind of cool. I love seeing wildlife. Maybe I'll see something before dark. But anyway, so, okay, well, I'm going to continue walking. I want to get some momentum going. Yeah, so I just wanted to share my little walk with you. Anyways, so I will see you in the next clip. And I did tell Kat where I'm at. I mean, there are times that when I'm all by myself, I'll take walks and nobody knows where I'm at. So, you know, but at least, you know, Kat does know in the direction I went. So if anything happened and I didn't return, you know, how bear gets me. You know, he knows the direction to kind of hunt me down. But anyways, I'm not afraid. You only live once in life, and, you know, gonna enjoy it and not let fear, you know, get me. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna keep walking. I'll see you in the next clip. I'm hoping to capture this. There is owls out there, so I'm gonna try to be quiet and see if you can hear the owls. It's pretty cool. I hope you can hear them here in a second. Oops, hold on, I'm trying to get a light so you can see me too. And then my camp is just straight ahead. I can see the light from Kent's truck, but there's my face. There I am. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna see if you can hear the owls. This comes out. I'm not scaring anybody. I don't know if it's going to come out, but I hope so. Play it back and see if we can hear the owls. Anyways, I'm almost back to the camp. It's getting dark, or it is dark. but I came off the road because I knew it was getting dark in between the trees. And we walked this path before, knowing that our vehicles are out here. And then it's lighter over behind me, so with the sun setting, so I knew it would be easier for me to find my way back. Listen to the owls now. There's my van light. I just want you guys to hear this. Remember to hear owls, it has to be dark. Okay, our next obstacle is getting up this hill. See what happens. There goes Kent. Woo. Piece of cake for him. Now I hope it's the same for me. Oh my gosh, it's kind of soft sand and I don't have the momentum that he does, but I don't think it's as deep where the tire, you know, tracks are, so I don't think it's as deep through there, so hopefully be okay. Whew, okay, this is probably my one more scary, nervous. All right. All right. Okay. Here it goes. Woo! Yay! That was okay. I did not want to get stuck. Well, that felt good to get up that hill. I was a little nervous, honestly. I think I took that other hill. I went up a little easier going up over some rocks because I got stuck when I was with Cindy. I didn't film it, but we were leaving at night when we were at Fort Stevens, and where the Peter Airedale parking lot was, a lot of the sand had drifted onto the main parking lot, and so it was dark and I couldn't see all where people had left their tracks, you know, coming in where the asphalt was more exposed. So then I'm trying to get out, and I was right deep into the thick of the sand and I got stuck. And so anyways, eventually I, you know, got enough momentum and it hopped its way out, you know, and oh my gosh, but that was a little scary moment there. I thought I was going to have to dig myself out and put some wood pieces underneath there and try to get out. But anyways, so, but I mean, at least the worst scenario is we do have tow straps. I'll have to go over all the necessity stuff later of what you should have when you're trying, you know, traveling like this. So we do have a tow strap, so that's the worst scenario. You know, when you're with someone, at least you have somebody that can pull you or tow you out. But if you're by yourself, obviously in a situation like this, you could be waiting a while for someone to come and pull you out with a tow strap. So then you're digging yourself out. Alright, well anyway, so that's another video in the future, right? Okay, so, alright, I love you all. We're on our last leg here of a trip before I have to head back home. So, alright, so I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.